All right. So we got some phone skills for today. I got six keys for crushing the phones. So key number one, first thing I want you guys to go ahead and write down for phone skills is read your script. Read your script. When you read 100% of the script, you give 100% of the value. When you read 50% of your script, you get 50% of the value. When you don't read your script at all, you're giving no value. They're not going to show up. They're not going to book with you. They're going to ghost you, and they're going to porch you. Getting porched is when you're standing on their porch, knocking on the door, standing like this, saying, "Can you let me in?" Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So make sure you read your script because 100% of the value. Also, the script is there for a reason. Read your script. You'll know what to say, when to say it, and what order to say it in. So read your script. And when you read a script, you may feel weird reading a script, but you don't sound weird reading a script. You may feel weird, but you don't sound weird. So please, please, please make sure that you say it, because when you say your script and when you read your script out loud, you don't sound weird. You sound beautiful. You sound great. But when you don't, you sound awkward, you sound weird, you sound nervous, and no one's going to book with you. And then lastly, I want you to put a star next to this one under number one. It works. It works. In your guys' first weekend, all of you guys booked demos and all of you guys made sales your first weekend. And what were you doing? You were reading the script word for word, because that's what I had you guys do in training. And I was listening to all of you guys make phone calls during training, and it worked. And you guys sold a lot in your guys' first weekend. So why would you go away from what works? So read your script. Number two, key number two for phone skills is smile while you dial. Smile while you dial. So 90% of human communication is done through facial expressions. 90% of it. So when you're on the phone, you can't see the other person's face. So who hears, like, when they're making phone calls, they get a little bit nervous, like they may like click their pen, tap their foot, move their leg a little bit, get a little angsty, get a little nervous. So the reason for that is because you don't know what the other person is like really saying to you, because you can't see their face. You don't know what to go off of. You don't know how to feel, and it kind of throws our brain into panic. And that's just how we are as humans, right? So when 90% of the communication is the face, what do we dial and hardcore focus in on? Your voice, right? The tone of voice. So you need to make sure that you're smiling, bringing your voice up and having a happy smile, go get it, positive attitude through your voice. You want to be able to smile through your voice. So what I always like to do is match +2. So if someone is at like a mellow 4, should I be at like a 10? No, right? I'd be at like a 6, right? Because if they're at a 2, I'm going to be at a 2. Actually, I'll be at a 4. And then someone's at a 4, I'd be at a 6. You just +2 to anything that their vibe and their energy is. So you want to match +2. Next is tone of voice is key. Your tone of voice is going to be key. So making sure that you put proper emphasis on proper words, that you're talking slowly so that they can register what's happening, and that you're slowing yourself down, that you're not stuttering, you're not saying ums, likes, us, and those sorts of filler phrases. But also just keeping a smile on your face, because you want to smile while you dial. Number 3, ask yes or yes questions. Ask yes or yes questions. Have you guys ever heard like the trend where it's like, oh, this gives me the ick? You guys ever heard of that before? Show hands. Yeah. When people don't ask yes or yes questions, that gives me the ick. They're like, when are you free? Do you want to see my demo? When can I come over? Oh, bro, it gives me the ick. My skin crawls. I'm like, that is embarrassing. I would not say that if I were you, right? So when you ask yes or yes questions, it's like zooming in on a map, right? So it's like asking someone, where do you live? And they say, America. All right, like where in America? Oh, Colorado. Cool, where in Colorado? Colorado Springs. Cool, what neighborhood? What street? What house number, right? It's like zooming in on a map. And so when you ask yes, you ask questions like, hey, does this day at this time works? What that does is instead of like looking at the entire week, it zooms into that exact point and that exact time. So they're focused on that exact point and exact time. I messed up. I didn't ask a yes or yes question actually earlier this week. I asked my mom, I said, Mom, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing on like Sunday? She was like, oh, I don't know. I'm really busy. I need to go to the store. I need to clean the house. And then I also need to cook some food and like meal prep for the week. I was like, cool. What are you doing Sunday at 2 p.m.? She goes, oh, I should be done by all that by then. Cool. Do you want to hang out then? You want to get out brunch? She was like, sure. Right. First time I asked her, I said, when are you free on Sunday? She was like, oh, I don't know. I'm really busy. I was like, what about Sunday at 2? I got super dialed in and super specific. And she was like, oh, yeah, that works. Complete 180-degree flip. Right. So asking, hey, does this day or this day work? And then I would like to say, does morning or afternoon work better? Is morning or afternoon better? If they say morning, cool, 9 a.m. If they say afternoon, cool, I have a 3 p.m. Right. And then you can kind of go from there. And what this does is it doesn't let them say no. It's yes Saturday, yes Sunday, yes 3 p.m. or yes 9 a.m. Right? There's no chance for them to say no. Next, it's a quick answer. It's a quick yes or no answer. It's like, oh yeah, yes, Sunday at 6 works. Right? It's an easy yes. It makes sense in their brains. Key number 4, firm up. Firm up. Have them write it down on a pen and a piece of paper. Have them write it down on a pen and piece of paper. Have them write it down on a pen and piece of paper. Do you guys remember when you guys went through your phone interviews and I asked you guys and I was setting you guys up for training and I accepted you for training? I said, hey, go ahead and pull out a pen and piece of paper. I just need you to jot down some quick info for me. Let me know when you're ready. And all of you guys wrote down the training dates and times. And then what happened? All of you guys showed up. And guess what? Now all of you guys are here. So if your manager has you guys write it down, do you think it's okay to have your customers write it down? Yes. And you can also throw in your own personal flair too. So like for all my in-person demos, I was like, hey, I want you to tape a penny to your refrigerator. I'm not going to tell you what it's for, but when I get there, you'll see. And they're like, you want me to do what? I was like, you heard me, tape a penny to your fridge, like right now. She's like, right now? I'm like, yeah, right now. Go ahead and do it. And she's like, okay. And I had all my customers tape a penny to the fridge. And as soon as I would roll up to their house, they'd be like, Trey, I have the penny. I have the penny. What is it for? I've been so like curious what this penny is for. And then obviously I cut it in the demo. Right. But that's a great way to get people engaged on your in-person demo. Right. And they're going to remember it because if it's a penny's taped to the fridge, that's going to be weird. And then the husband's going to ask, the wife is going to ask, the kids are going to ask, like, why the fuck is there a penny taped to the fridge? Right. It firms it up. It's something that's a key. It's a reminder. Right. So either have them write it down on a pen and piece of paper, have them put it in their calendar. Just be like, hey, let me know when you're ready to write some stuff down. Cutco presentation with Trey, Saturday at 6, and then draw a smiley face. You know what I look like when I get there. Right. Your customers will laugh. They think it's funny. They think it's cute. And then it helps them remind them. It helps them remember and they won't ghost you. They won't port you. Also, with firming up and scheduling demos, don't book demos for more than 3 days away. Don't book demos for more than 3 days away. If you schedule a demo a week in advance, they are not going to remember. Does anyone remember what they were doing 3 days ago? Exactly. Why do you expect your customers to remember? 3 days ago, I have to think really hard. Let's say Thursday, so Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. I couldn't even tell you what I was doing on Monday, and I have a calendar. I could tell you if I looked at my calendar, but right now off the dome, I couldn't do it. So if I didn't write it down, if I didn't put it in my calendar, it's not going to happen. Simple as that. So my rule of thumb is always schedule no more than 3 days apart or 3 days out. Next, speaking of scheduling, schedule for a great time, not a good time. Schedule for a great time, not a good time. Schedule for a great time, not a good time. Now, what does that mean? That means it's the best possible time for you to come over and do a demo with them. So if I say, hey, does Saturday at 6 work? And they say, I guess Saturday at 6 would work. I guess I can fit that in. Oh, Mr. Jones, you don't sound too confident in that. What about Sunday morning at 9 a.m. instead? Oh, yes, that's a great time. Come over then. Now, she could have made Saturday at 6 p.m. work. It was a good time, but it wasn't a great time. right? So that's something that you guys have to listen and pick up when you're talking to your customers on the phone. You have to listen to their tone of voice as well. You have to pick up on what they're saying, right? She could have probably fixed it and probably like moved her schedule around, but it would have been a lot easier just to schedule for the next day. So pick a great time, not a good time. Pick your times wisely too. Don't be like, oh yeah, Tuesday at 2 p.m. in the middle of the work week when they're at work and maybe on their lunch break. They're not going to buy doing a demo from their office out in the middle of the lunch week, right? Shoot for like during the weekdays after 5 p.m. or before like 8 a.m. Huge times. Don't schedule it during work hours. Don't schedule from 9 to 5. Don't schedule from 9 to 5. Doesn't make sense. Your customers aren't going to show up and they're probably moving something around to make it fit. So use your weekends to your advantage. Be a weekend warrior. Do 3 demos on Sunday, 3 on Saturday, get 6 demos knocked out, hit newsletter, and you're fucking golden. You don't have to worry about demos for the rest of the week. Midweek demos blow. Midday, midweek, worst possible time to do a demo. Don't offer that time because then they're going to say, I can't make it. Can you just call me back? And then they're never going to call you back. They're never going to pick up their phone again. So make sure that you pick your times wisely. Some demo times that I always loved, Saturday mornings, Sunday nights. Saturday mornings and Sunday nights. Sunday morning, some people go to church and it's like a really protected family time. But Sunday night, who's doing something on a Sunday night? Literally no one. Literally no one. They're getting ready for the week. Saturday morning, they're recovering from Friday and they're going out Saturday night. So guess what's the perfect time for them to do a demo? Saturday morning. Right? So make sure you guys are thinking about like what people are doing at other times of the day. Don't be offering times willy-nilly, making your customers bend over backwards for you when you can just cater to their needs and get that handled before it comes up. And when you pick a great time and not a good time, it prevents getting ghosted and no-shows. So take the extra time to find a great time. Take the extra time to find a good time. And also have your calendar in front of you. When you're phoning, have your calendar in front of you. That also gives me the ick when like you guys are phoning and then you're like, I like does and then you guys are just like flipping through random pages, like trying to pick like a random time in a day that like doesn't work for you and it doesn't work for them. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And then lastly, key number 6, which is my favorite key, is have fun. Have fun. Guys, we sell knives. We sell knives for a living, bro. We're not rocket scientists. We're not brain surgeons. Have fun. It's funny. We sell knives. Yes, it's not just about the knives. Yes, it's about the personal growth, the professional growth, all the other things that we talk about. That's amazing with Vector and all the skills that you guys are learning. But guys, have fun. Have fun. When you guys have fun with this job, it makes it 10 billion times more fun. When you're just like, take that like that pressure off your shoulders. Take that pressure off your shoulders and just do the job. Fuck around and find out. Don't put all this extra weighted pressure on yourself to perform or to do this or to do that. It takes away from your demo, it takes away from the phone call, it takes away from your sales, and it also takes away from your confidence. And your customers can feel that on the phone. They can feel when you're pressured. They can feel when you're stressed. They can feel when you're not having fun. Your customers want to book demos with fun people. They want a fun time. They want a fun experience. They don't want to sit there miserable for an hour and a half. They don't want to sit in a lecture, right? We always hate going to lectures in college. There's a couple classes where I was like, this person cannot get this done any slower, right? And it was the absolute worst. So don't do that to your customers. Be fun. Be someone they want to spend time with. And be yourself. Be yourself. This job allows you to be unapologetically yourself. You guys see it with me. I don't pretend to be no one else. Trey is 100% Trey. And this job allows me to do that. So take a page out of your boy's book and just have fun. Have fun on the phone. This job's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. It's not supposed to be like in your face high pressure. It's supposed to be like lax, talking to moms, selling knives, and like booking a shit ton of demos. I feel like as of lately, like our office, it just feels like there's been like a lot of pressure. I'm just like, I don't like it. So take that pressure off. Take the pressure backpack off. Have fun. Go back to like what you guys like thought about like your first weekend when you're just like fucking around and finding out. Yeah, just bring that same energy all the time. Don't stress yourselves out overselling knives. That's silly. Cool. Thumbs up, is this helpful? Gorgeous. Cool. Next thing that we're going to go ahead and talk about is our personal growth section for today. And this is going to be the 10 major causes of failure. So in this job a lot, I think we talk about success a little too much. Whereas like you need to be this to be successful. You need to do X, Y, and Z to be successful. You need to do this. But we really don't talk about what it means to fail, right? And the things that cause failure. So I want you guys to number this 1 through 10, and I want you guys to skip like every other line on your guys' page. So like do like a 1, skip like 1 or 2 lines, do a 2, skip like 1 or 2 lines, do a 3, because I also have some bullet points for underneath each one of these. But I'm talking about the 10 major causes of failure. So 1 is a lack of a well-defined purpose, aka you don't have a goal. You don't have a goal. You don't have something that you're working towards. Right? You don't have a purpose in what you're doing. So I know for a fact that we all have goals because I helped each and every single one of you guys break down your goals, and we talked about goals at the beginning of the meeting today. What are your reasons for your goals? What are your reasons for your goals? Right? Oh, like I want to make a lot more money. Cool. What are you going to do with that money? Or like, I want to graduate college debt free. Why don't you want to graduate college debt free? Oh, because I want to not have student loans and I want to be in debt for the rest of my life. Awesome. That's a great why of why you want to graduate college debt free. Right? So it's not only your goal, but why you're going after that goal. So what inspires you? And do you know what inspires you? Can you be inspired to be the best version of you, best version you can be? People who don't have a purpose, they fail, right? Who knows someone like that in their life? They're always asking why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why do I have to do this? I shouldn't have to do this, right? That's like that lack of purpose. They don't have the drive. They don't have the energy. They don't have the attention to detail. Number 2, a lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. AKA translation, average sucks. Average fucking sucks. People remember the best and people remember the worst. This is a message that my basketball coach always gave us, is being average sucks, right? Like, could you name the number 4 seed in the Western Conference Finals or in the Western Conference in the NBA last season? The 4 seed? No, because no one remembers average, right? Could you guys name me the NBA champions of last season? Denver Nuggets. Come on, guys. They won the championship. But it's bad using sports analogies in front of non-sports people. But anyway, the Denver Nuggets won the championship. Anyway, besides the point. The point is, be above average. Shoot for above and beyond. Have standards for yourself. Have standards. Honestly, this room, we should be shipping 6 to 10K weeks every single week. There's no reason why we shouldn't be. And with our entire team, that's a very easy, accomplishable goal. And I full-heartedly believe that 10K weeks every single week are possible and doable. Just from our assistant manager staff, I think that's possible and doable. And then with your guys' influence over your guys' new teams, should be no reason why we're not hitting 6 to 10K every single week. And I can say that because it's consistent with your goals. It's consistent with your guys' efforts. It's consistent with what you guys are telling me. We talk about it all the time. I think that you guys can. This isn't me like trying to put you guys down, but it's saying like, hey, go above average. Have that standard for yourself. And we need to quit settling for poor results. We need to quit settling for poor results. I will not accept poor results anymore, because that's not who we are. You guys are the best of the best. You guys are the best in RMD. And it showed this summertime. And it's so far showing this fall. Well, we need to keep that up. Number 3, a lack of discipline, a lack of self-discipline. A lack of self-discipline. Now, do you know what my definition of discipline is? Doing something when you don't want to do it. That's discipline. Like, oh, I really don't want to do my homework right now, but it's due tomorrow. I'll just sleep in. That's not discipline. What you can do and should do, you must do. If you can do it and you should do it, you must do it. It comes back to your reasons. It comes back to your purpose. It comes back to your why. Make yourself be the biggest reason for why. I'm doing it for me, doing it for myself. So for example, I stopped eating out. And I know my assistant manager staff is probably like, what? Because they eat out all the time. I was like, hey, let's grab this. Let's do this real quick. Like, hey, let's do PC at McDonald's. Let's do PC at Chipotle. But anyway, I'm done eating out. I'm saving my money. I'm staying disciplined. It's a lot easier to eat out. But I have that self-discipline. I'm doing it for myself. Number 4, procrastination. Now, Gen Z prides themselves on their procrastination and getting it done before the wire. Trust me, I know, I've been there, I've done it. But develop a sense of urgency before your deadline. Develop a sense of urgency before your deadline. If you have a paper due at midnight and you just started at 10 o'clock, why do that to yourself? Why throw yourself into that panic mode when you could have gotten done at the beginning of the week versus waiting till the day of? Have that panic mode, have that sense of urgency before, not 2 hours before, have it 2 days before. Because I would like to say the pain of regret outweighs the pain of hard work. The pain of regret will outweigh the pain of hard work. Working hard sucks, but also having regret sucks more. Who here has worked really hard to achieve a goal? Show of hands. How did you guys feel at the end? Did you guys care about all the hard work that you put in, or did it not matter because you hit your goal? Didn't matter because you hit your goal, right? Who here hasn't worked hard towards something and then they could have kept going, but they quit early and they missed out on a chance, they missed out on an opportunity, they missed out on something, and they had that immense regret? Which one hurt more, the regret or the hard work? The regret. So don't procrastinate. Get it done now. Number 5, a lack of persistence. A lack of persistence. When things don't go your way, we have 2 options. We can either give up or hold back, or we can press on and determine in a determined manner. So we can either like give up and shut down, or we can keep going. Right? So like when someone says no to the homemaker set, you guys can shut down, your energy can drop, you're like, okay, let me show you the galley set. Or you're gonna push through and drop down and show them the galley and follow the drop down process. And for champions, they only have one option, and it's persistence. Right? You hear people on sports say it all the time. They're just like, oh, they just outworked them. They just outmuscled them. They just didn't give up. They just persevered the entire time. They made it hell for that other team. Same thing here. Keep that level of persistence no matter what. Never back down, never give up. Never back down, never what? Number 6, an uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. So I don't think any of us are guilty of that, but we must always remember that the effort it takes to get the results we want. right? So like making like 10, 15 phone calls, not booking a demo, like, oh, I just did something for nothing. I did this for nothing, right? Having that disappointment. No, you got it to get better on the phone, right? And I feel like nowadays it's really easy to have that something for nothing. Like I did all this for nothing, and then feeling defeated and quitting at that point when you're just building more positive and positive momentum. Number 7, a lack of concentration of effort, staying focused, dialing in. You guys know how cracked out I am and how hyper focused on things I am. When I'm building my calendar and my schedule, don't fucking talk to me because I'm getting my stuff done. When I have other people text me or call me during PCs, I turn my phone down because I'm focused on you guys. Right? I'm giving you guys my effort, my focus, my attention all the time. So when you guys are making phone calls and someone sends you like a Snapchat or you get a TikTok and then you get another notification, but then you check Instagram to see what your Instagram stories are saying, and then your friend's doing this. Next thing you know, 10 minutes goes by and you don't make a single phone call. Right? Show of hands who's been guilty of that. I've been guilty of that so many times. I'm not stupid. I know it happens. Right? So what if you had that concentration of effort with everything that you do? What if you were focused and dialed in, and then you did those things after you completed that task? What would that look like? What would that feel like? Instead of making 40 calls in 2 hours, could you make 40 calls in 1 hour? Could you cut that time in half? Number 8, a lack of enthusiasm. You guys know me. I'm always lit up about something. I'm always lit up about something. There's not a day that goes by where it's very rare where a day goes by that I don't have a smile on my face. So I make things fun. I make things happy. And this is like one of the most important qualities of life. And my friends always talk to me about this, and they mainly say it with like going out to like the bars and the clubs. Like, oh, this bar sucks. I'm like, no, the people that you go with suck. And they're like, yeah, that's fair. Right? Because there's been times where I've gone out and had a terrible time. There's times that I've gone out and had a great time. There's times here in Cutco where I like showed up to a demo and my customer was really into it. I was really into it. And I sold big. There's been times where like my customer might have been really into it, but I wasn't, and then I didn't make a sale. Right? So with everything that we do, can you bring a level of positivity? Can you bring a level of excitement to everything that we do? So instead of going to that class that you hate because you hate your teacher, can you come in with a different attitude of like, hey, I'm actually really excited to learn about blank, blank, and blank, and blank. Or like, I don't really like this teacher, so I'm going to go out of my way to get to know them so that I actually like them. And I'm excited to show up to class. Number 9 is an inability to cooperate with others. Now, you guys will have to work with other people your entire life. It's not going away. With this job, you do work for yourself, but you don't work by yourself. So like I know our assistant manager squad, you guys get along really well. But in school projects, you might be partnered with someone that you don't like as much. And in this world, success does not come just solely from you. I didn't get to this district manager position by myself. I had Drew's help, my district manager's help. I had other district managers from around the company helping me. Right? I didn't get to the spot by myself. I didn't come up with all this by myself. I've had help throughout the way. So let other people help you. Let other people help you. It is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. I know the guys on our team mainly have the issue with this. The girls are way more likely to ask for help. But it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you inferior. It doesn't make you stupid. It's actually a stronger thing to ask for help than it is just to figure it out on your own. And then lastly, overcaution. Overcaution. AKA A fear of failure. A fear of failure. One of my favorite quotes, Thomas Edison, he goes, I didn't fail 3,000 times. I just figured out how to make a light bulb, how not to make a light bulb 3,000 times. He wasn't scared of failing. He wasn't overcautious. So it's like when you're picking up the phone and you're nervous to make that phone call, you're nervous to make that dial, you're nervous to hit that message and click send. Don't have that fear of failure. Full fucking send it. Because you're never gonna know. Don't be scared of failure. Don't let that control you. And remember that the ultimate risk is to risk all your potential by never coming out of your comfort zone. When you don't step outside of your comfort zone, when you don't go talk to that one girl or guy who you think is cute, that's limiting your potential. You're doing yourself more harm than good. And if we lose at anything, I want to lose trying. I'd much rather go play an NBA team in basketball and try and lose versus not even going out there and not even trying and then losing. So I will not accept our recent performance. I expect more out of every single one of us. And the reasons why I feel like I can't accept more is because of the people in this room. You guys are rock stars. I know that you guys all want more out of yourselves. I know you guys want more out of each other. I know that at the end of the year, you guys all want to be hanging up silver cup above your heads. I know you guys are better than mediocrity. I know you guys are better than these 10 things. And I know you guys want that. So no more excuses, no more regrets, no more looking back, no more saying what if. Let's start moving forward. Let's fucking get this shit, guys. And then, cool. Well, that's everything I got for content for today. So the time is 6:50. So I just want to do a round of takeaways, and then we are going to dive into a phone jam for the last hour. So I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to make sure I send this out to everybody and that everyone on our team sees this. I wanted more people here, but it is okay. So if you're watching the recording of this, send me your top 5 takeaways and then book 5 demos. Like, comment, subscribe. New videos come out whenever I post. Blah.